It is hard to believe that Team BDS, the reigning world champions, are now setting foot at a major for the first time this season. It is the last chance they'll get this season for a major title.
And if there's one guarantee to making a major, it is bringing in the English-Portuguese player Rise. Every time he joins a new roster, they make it to these hallowed halls. They arrive at a LAN, and normally, James, they do pretty well in them as well.
That is true. I mean, looking back at Rise's record, it's pretty incredible. Out of the 4 majors that he's made the grand finals in 3 of them. Team BDS has certainly been elevated by Rise, but GENG,
yeah,
what they did in the fall split was history-making.
Exactly, the team that nobody expected to do anywhere near as well as they did. Chronic, that touch wasn't ideal. Rise is coming in, he puts it just to the side. And GENG survived, but now at least Chronic has to make up for his own mistake earlier. Not the best touch for the young North American. But yeah, GENG, they arrive at this one, sorry James, it's a bit of a freebie for them. You know, they've already qualified via a tiebreaker they probably didn't expect to make when Optic were 3-0 down against FaZe. But they're using it.
And that's just going to roll right in. And you know, a freebie, I don't think so. GENG had to work for it. I mean, that series against FaZe going up against a first killer who had never missed out on a major. GENG had to work for this one. Jack even said it in his interview. This one feels the best because they really had to work for it to be here. And early on in this game, you're seeing the work that GENG's putting in. They were forced to play defense and then found that one brief counterattacking opportunity. And it's enough to put GENG on top. Right now, Monkey Moon trying to press as well. GENG been playing a lot of defense.
You can already see in the body language as well from GENG after that goal, there was laughter. They knew they got a little bit lucky earlier, but when they can turn it around, just get the free goal all the way down to the BDS half, there's going to be smiles in their camp, and maybe that's what GENG have been missing across the last split or so, and they've been slightly weaker than the lofty heights back in Rotterdam when they won so comfortably. But it's absolutely brilliant back there. Chronic is closing down Monkey Moon. He just slows things down. Apparently, Jack, he's nipping in. One of the smartest minds in Rocket League history, and apparently, Jack. And that's for Team BDS, Seiko. He is the player that they're relying on to bring them that creativity, because in this new era, they can't just rotate their way to a World Championship. GENG are reading Team BDS, and it's 2-0.
And it's another long-range goal. Seiko was trying to go for it, but then you see everyone crept up too far.
Monkey Moon is already shaking his head. 2 goals down in the opening game. The thing's barely started, and there's already some signs that Team BDS not feeling at their most comfortable. It's been a while since they've made it to this level, James.
I mean, it's going to take a little bit of time for them to get into the rhythm. They have not been on an RLCS land stage since winning it all last season. So now they're going to have to get back into it. It is game 1. There's still plenty of time for them. But we're seeing a strong start from GENG, and you can see the look on Monkey Moon's face that physically pained him when Chronic scored.
It all happened so quickly for Team BDS. They started this game better. Chronic had made that almost beautiful own goal from the redirect. Suddenly you blink and your team's 3-0 down in game 1. And this is so important for North America as a whole as well, James. This battle for the final world spot is huge.
It certainly is, and I mean, you were talking about it in your video, Cole, the region spots that are on the line. Everybody has to show up. It helps the region, helps, you know, the teams. Like for North America, you can tell everyone sitting at home who's not out here playing, they are glued here to see if North America, or will Mina make a run? Which region is going to get that extra spot?
It's going to be fascinating all the way to the end. Hopefully this game will be the same if Team BDS can turn things around soon. Still plenty of time, especially if Seiko connects there. It's another slightly awkward touch. These growing pains that this new Team BDS are having on the LAN stage continue throughout game 1. I imagine they'll take a little bit of time to talk things through once this one is done. But GENG, it's clean Rocket League, and it's working for them, James.
It has been. They're happy to post up on defense and wait for the gaps. We've seen gaps open up, and we've seen some demos as well. That one, Rise completing the demo, but oh, hold on a second. Open net! It's a change-up, and it gets saved! That one should have been a must-score goal, and you can even see Monkey Moon's reaction on that. He is feeling it this game, and not in a good way.
That is unbelievable, the fact that it remains 3-0 at 100% should be one to the team in blue. They'll keep on fighting, they'll keep on trucking. So far, GENG just having their way with Team BDS, looking the better team. Nolly's already there for that clearance. Sends it forwards. Apparently Jack's there. That's a better save from Monkey Moon. Will that wake Team BDS up?
Well, there's a flip reset pass. It's a nice pass off the backboard. It was tipped by GENG. Seiko going for a little tip past the defenders, but it's not enough to take GENG out. GENG have been setting up on their goal line, soaking in this pressure and just waiting for counterattack opportunities. Even the one where they gave Team BDS a scoring chance, BDS could not put that in. So it's not even that GENG's playing out of this world.
Oh, lovely.
GENG put another one in against a Team BDS that is struggling.
Nolly, one of the best passers across World Rocket League, knew exactly what he was doing. The speed to call the fake for apparently Jack. They are in sync right now.
And did you see the team bump? Rise, he's cycling around. Monkey Moon on the low backward right next to the post. And Rise just ran right into it. So, and even they're missing that. If that was on target, I don't think Nolly's getting back. This has been, we talk about masterclass, and this has been a bit of a disaster class.
I mean,
for BDS.
I don't want to bring up sad memories too early, James, but BDS have done this before, been highly hyped going into a LAN, and they were the first team, if I recall, to be perfect swept. No, the second team after Vitality to be perfect swept at a LAN by FaZe Clan. I also remember, I think it was Ground Zero, but defeated Team BDS when they were overwhelming favorites at the Spring Split in London. Sometimes this just happens to them. They're going to have a really good team talk over the next 60 seconds once this game is over, because things, historically for them, have got ugly.
And it is pretty ugly so far in game one. We might see one at
that sums it up.
I mean, that pretty much sums up the game for Team BDS, but for GENG, they are going to be happy with that performance. Chronic hit a really nice shot from the corner, but also GENG caught a few breaks. There were some opportunities for BDS. There was the Monkey Moon shot where he had a light tap. It was bouncing and it just didn't have enough pace to make it in. And Team BDS getting shut out here against a GENG team that really, when you look back, they did not have to do a lot.
I think the Team BDS are going to tell themselves that they had plenty of opportunities and plenty of shots. They should not have not scored in that game. 12 shots, of which a couple of them were open goals. That one from Monkey Moon, that's just got to go into the back of the net. But that's the positive they can take, right? I'm trying here.
And even there, the team bump on the post, that one definitely would have hurt right there. So Team BDS, they have a lot to prove after that first game. GENG, they were able to turtle up on defense, and it was enough. We saw even a couple long-range goals just from GENG turtling up, soaking up that pressure, just looking for the gaps.
It's always nice to see GENG playing well as well. The way they played Rocket League at the full major in Rotterdam, the passes that they found, the creativity that they conjured up out of nowhere. And such a great story as well. I mean, Nolly and apparently Jack flying over to North America, and they had offers in EU, picking up, some bubble player from a team called Randoms. And then suddenly they're winning everything. A beautiful Rocket League story for GENG.
Yeah, it's truly been a storybook for GENG. It's been remarkable seeing apparently Jack go from struggling in Europe and Nolly as well being dropped from his team to being on this pedestal that they are now and being fall major champions. And there was an interview with CRR on Shift where CRR said, out of the teams in NA, GENG is that one team that he thinks you should look out for just from what they did in the fall split.
They are a unique crew, GENG Mobile, but so are Team BDS. All they've achieved with the dominance that they've had, rarely seen in Rocket League Worlds. Even this split, third, second, in a region as competitive as Europe has been, is seriously impressive. So by no means is this series done and dusted. I imagine we're going to see a much better Team BDS in game number 2. In the early doors, it's GENG with a little bit of pressure. Team BDS this time, though, deal with it well. Now there's a counter.
Nice demo.
Seiko has the way cleared for him, and Team BDS get themselves on the scoreboard.
And it's the certified land boy Rise who opens up the floodgates. You see that demo allowed Seiko to walk that one in.
Rise is always the beating heart of any team that he joins. It was commented on the desk that he sits right in the middle, and that's because he is a very stoic presence. He's calm. He knows when to make your team smile and laugh, when to be more serious. He's somebody you can turn to and trust. I imagine he had a lot to say in between the first game and this one.
It's a fantastic recovery now for BDS. Just working out those game 1 shivers. Monkey Moon trying to go for it himself. Wow. You could see the idea, wanted to get that crown pinch. Now on the other end, apparently Jack double tap off the arc, but was not able to read it. Now Rise, flip reset around one. Seiko drives in to take over. This is a much different looking Team BDS squad.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a double commit there, but I sort of am not worried about that too much. You want to see them wanting to be on the ball. You want to see them trying to make up for those mistakes. They're looking more like the Team BDS that we expect. The control is back. The touches are great. Rise is surprising GENG, something he didn't really do too much in game one. They're still pressuring Chronic, pushes to the side. Monkey Moon is the pass, and Rise is there. Great decision-making and the finish at the end of it.
Oh, Rise. He's going, you could even see Seiko has just lost right in front of it. Looking for a bump, actually. Rise going all in there. If he loses a 50 in that situation with Seiko a bit late to rotate back, that could have been really bad for Team BDS. But Rise is really surgical there, reading the play perfectly and able to hop in. And also credit to Monkey Moon for getting that ball back into the middle. Monkey Moon, he said in his interview that we saw prior to this game that he likes to let his game do the talking. And he has been running up the numbers in Europe. He has been on top of the charts. Multiple splits in a row, but now we see GENG answer back in game 2.
Yeah, and it was Chronic who gets the finish in the end. Chronic himself is the lowest demoer across anyone who's made it here. 0.5 a game he gets, so it's not surprising that it was Nolly who got that one to set up Chronic, a very GENG-ish goal, and that gets them back in it.
And Nolly is actually the lead demoer as well for GENG, so you do expect plays like that. Nolly also known for his passing, that time going for the goal himself. And apparently Jack picks up the scraps.
I'd say that this game sums up GENG's split and their time since they won the full major. It starts off slow, and then suddenly it explodes. And from the early evidence of this one series in this one tournament, it's looking like that explosion is coming in again. GENG Mobile looking fantastic so far, as apparently Jack's prod forward might make it all the way through. Nolly, gonna put that one in. Seiko might have just kept Team BDS's spirit in this.
And Nolly had to, I mean, he was already airborne. He was trying to strike that ball as best he could, but Seiko showing composure there, able to get back, position himself well for the save. Very easily could have been the third goal there for GENG off a rare Chronic demo.
Rise puts that one into the center. Nolly's already up for it. Good pace from him. Apparently Jack to go for the double. It was a little bit of a semi-shot, semi-double tap. Not quite what he wanted either way. So saved relatively simply. GENG going to keep on the attack. 2-2 now. They'll be happy with this position after going those first couple of goals behind. Less happy if Monkey Moon can see this one away. As Nolly gets a touch into the center. Chronic puts it down. It should be easy enough for Monkey Moon. And then it's a bit of clarity in the center.
See Rise trying to flick that up in the pass. Now a double commit, 2 jump for BDS, but Chronic sails the shot high. Demo from behind, Chronic getting his hands dirty this game.
You also saw in that bug on the screen, it's 1-1 between Power and SSG. So the OCE team's running very well despite that reverse sweep earlier on by Carmine Corp. Taking games in scrims against teams like Vitality and now taking games to the biggest stage as the flick reset comes in. Monkey Moon bundles it home and Team BDS restore their lead.
And this is what Seiko does best. He gets in there, utilizes his mechanics to really make it awkward, and you can see all 3 players from GENG flailing. Seiko threw that defensive line into chaos.
I feel like slow motion didn't do GENG justice there. It made it look a lot uglier than it probably felt in real time.
Seiko trying to continue on, but Chronic, a nice controlled touch on the backboard. Monkey Moon, who scored that go-ahead goal, was waiting for the pass. Rise again over to Monkey Moon. Monkey Moon up the corner. Pass out to the middle. Seiko's there, weak shot. Gonna be easily saved by Jack, but rebound out to Rise. Rise cutting around it. Now Nolly will pop it up. GENG setting up on the defensive line.
Yeah, it's good pressure from Team BDS. They have to make it count though. GENG has shown they can counter and they can do it blisteringly fast. As apparently Jack tries to get one going. Rise is closing him down now. 2 players who have played each other over the years before apparently Jack made his move to North America. Nolly the same. Just goes as far as Monkey Moon. GENG have to make this one happen, have to make it happen now. Nolly charges it forward to apparently Jack. Has 2 teammates in the center. Chronic waits. He tries to get there, but his teammate nips in. The fist bumps are already around before the goal hits the back of the net.
And this is the impact that Rise can have. He cuts Chronic off and then turns that into a goal, essentially securing game 2. And if you remember how this game started out, Cole, it was the demo from Rise that started this whole Team BDS offensive. So this was a game that you can really point back to and say, this is the difference that a player like Rise makes.
Seiko can't quite sink the double tap, but Team BDS won't mind that at all. They managed to regain parity in this series, and the man we see right now drinking the water, a true captain's performance.
Oh, truly. And I mean, I always look at Team BDS as Monkey Moon's team. I mean, he throws up the numbers. He led this team to a world championship, but Rise was that missing piece for BDS this season. And, you know, we are still wondering, is this BDS team going to be resuscitated? Will we see them at the World Championship? And if we do, how are they going to perform? And this is really the glimpse. You know, everyone at the beginning of the season was expecting Team BDS to dominate. Like they dominated in RLCS X and going into this modern era, but we just have not seen that so far this year, but maybe this is the starting point.
I think the problem with Team BDS is that they're never going to have, realistically, that level of dominance ever again. Those days are behind them. The other teams have caught up. It's going to be more difficult to win every single series, every single game, and get every single goal. Now it becomes a case of being more reactive. How do you handle it if you go a couple of goals behind or if you make a mistake? Between game to game, Team BDS did it very well. In-game in the first game, not so much. Hopefully, we've now seen the real them. They'll continue, and this series will be alive and kicking all the way to the very end.
So what kind of adjustments we have. Seiko also showing us his trademark make defenders miss. And also just use those flip resets to make the defense flail. We saw a lot of flailing from GENG in those final plays. But GENG, they have an excellent mentality. We've seen that on display as they had an incredible fall split, have made every major, even had to go through a tiebreaker to get here.
Mentality and tactics, theory as well. They will know exactly what went wrong in that second game, and they'll have the ability to turn their ego down and change it up to this one, as Seiko can't quite get enough power on the shot. Might have another chance, but Nolly steams it onto Rise's pass. I guess a second touch too. Beautiful solo transition from him. What's Chronic doing there? No one expected him to be there, but the American can't quite sink it.
And it looked like he needed to get that a little bit lower. The net was vulnerable for a brief moment, but they're still on the attack. Good stop from Seiko. Chronic will jump early, go for a double tap clear, and does hit it nicely over to the side, preventing much of an attack, but you can still see Team BDS with possession.
The Psycho for a second was on for Chronic. Couldn't quite get the deft touch that he needed for that, but it did enough just to buy GENG some time, and the boost that they got in their reserves was enough to clear that ball away. Apparently Jack, huge win. Nolly's going to beat Rice here, is he? Not quite. Apparently Jack waits for Chronic, so still good composure from GENG, even if these attacks aren't quite working up to now. Is there going to be that precise, perfect pass that GENG always just seem to be building up, or a Team BDS going to keep on closing them?
Now we see some space for Nolly. There's the pass. Nolly can't make contact, but the cleanup is there. GENG strike first, game 3.
Nolly just being an absolute menace, taking out Rise of his demo, and then there was another demo in the background as well. The double making it 1-0.
And he also threatens the down. He jumped. Monkey Moon did not jump out of the way, so that prevented, you know, he didn't get demoed or bumped out of the way, but Nolly still limited Monkey Moon's defensive options. Nolly is such a catalyst for GENG. He does so much out on the field that you don't get points for, but he makes that difference.
Here's Seiko though, wants to just prod this one down, but Nolly, he clears it to the side. Monkey Moon's coming into the ceiling. As Rise in the center picks him out. How's his finish? It's good enough, and it's 1-1.
Oh, and this is just another gorgeous passing play. Look at Monkey Moon, finesse, goes to the ceiling, gets the pass back down. Monkey Moon made that look so easy, but that was a difficult play. He really weaved his way around them.
I mean, you talk of things being easy. GENG have already locked in World's final stage. They've already locked in top seed for North America. As for Team BDS, they're making sure they can even make Worlds. They're likely to based on results, but it's not locked in. That increase in pressure that Team BDS have against GENG, I'd still say you can see it in their body language right now. So, huge chasm of calmness between the two of them, but BDS are making it work. There was the challenge, and there's Monkey Moon with the lead.
And we're starting to see Monkey Moon get activated. Seiko gets a block. Monkey Moon waiting around, smells blood in the water, and strikes at the right time. Monkey Moon has an incredible sense for scoring. That is why he's up near the top in Europe in scoring even this split. I believe he was second, but Monkey Moon he really does let his game talk for him. He has been spectacular this split and is starting to come alive in this series.
Team BDS, like Cold Spring, is currently making it work. All that pressure, making them into a diamond as Chronic sends it to the side. Rise in the center is going to fake it out. Apparently Jack, thankfully for GENG Mobile, was aware of it. Rise round the corner, wants to get the last touch that he needs to put it in. Not quite there yet again, but Team BDS, James, having all the pressure right now.
Oh, there's a nice leave. Seiko threatening to solo play it, but that was a wonderful leave there by Rise, who perhaps recognized there was a slight smoke screen that could generate that opportunity. BDS is really starting to hit their stride, and that's a hard shot. It'll be saved by Chronic.
Saved by Chronic, but it's just going to come right back into the center. Another save from apparently Jack, and Rise underneath. This is where he loves to play the game, to the ceiling. Monkey Moon now potentially the recipient of the pass. That infield pass is always there for Team BDS. When one goes solo, they constantly have a player going, I'll get the pass if you want to get it to me, but here's a counter, but Rise saves it.
Apparently Jack going straight for net. GENG, they showed some counterattack potential there. Came up just short. This game has been mostly Team BDS peppering shot after shot at GENG. Monkey Moon controlling once more, sees Rise and Seiko. There's a ball that should not have made it through. Oh, it does, and it gets saved. Apparently, Jack, I thought that was 100% in, but he knocked it out.
Not the first time in this series that Team BDS surely had to score but couldn't do it. Amazing defending from GENG Mobile 1. Rise keeps it going though. Team BDS, so much pressure that maybe Nolly's touch will exert some. He wants to beat Seiko and does. Apparently, Jack, I don't think he's won the boost he was after. So that'll slow him down a little bit and allow Team BDS to come right back in. A demo from Nolly, a double demo from Nolly again, clears up the path. Apparently Jack makes it so awkward for Monkey Moon. What a clearance from him, and then Rise finishes the job.
That was such an awkward position for Monkey Moon. Monkey Moon, after that disappointing game one, has really been playing wonderfully. Just have to hold on for 10 more seconds. GENG, though, on the assault.
Apparently Jack, Nolly's coming in ahead of him. Apparently Jackie's there. Rise, perfect touch, just to make apparently Jack steal as much time as possible. Chronic with the pass, though, Nolly's in, and Monkey Moon finishes the job as he started it. A huge save and a huge performance.
Oh, like you said, a huge performance from Monkey Moon, making two premier defensive stops in those final moments, the backboard read, and then that shot. That was actually a really nice play from apparently Jack, getting that nice double tap off the sidewall, keeping the ball alive, and then the pass across as well. Everything came together just like GENG had hoped, but Monkey Moon was a step ahead. So Team BDS really showing you how they were able to secure that #2 seed in Europe with a phenomenal split. And even though things did not go their way game one, I think you can cut them a little bit of slack. This is their first time on land in quite some time.
Yeah, the nerves were there. They're very much gone now. Now it's belief. Team BDS looking again like a team that can take on the world. Any comers, they'll have them. And that is the Rise effect, in my opinion. You know, he said he joined this team not just to make worlds. He could have made worlds of any old team. He joined Team BDS. He joined Monkey Moon and Seiko to win the World Championship. The huge risk that he took, it's starting to begin to pay off.
But you really see that in a lot of the greats, Cole, where they are not afraid to make big-time changes on these teams because that is their goal. You know, top 4 is not good enough for them. They want to win it all. And Rise is certainly a competitor like that who expects to be in the running. And he certainly is. Rise denied. Seiko back up to the ceiling. Second effort. Will lose possession back to Jack. Jack light clear. Monkey Moon at the midfield. Over to Rise. Rise off the ceiling going for the 50.
Oh, lovely.
Rebound out in front of net. Chronic tips it some. The shot came through, but you can see how quickly BDS collapsed.
Incredible defending, though, from GENG there. The timings of these delayed flips from both teams, incredibly impressive. Rise, though, flicks it towards his own team in the center, just like Chronic did in game one. I don't know why these guys have been training, getting redirects towards your own goal. I'm not a fan, I'll be honest, but so far, no goals have been conceded from it. Maybe a goal will be scored here by Team BDS. The edge of a bump attempt from Seiko's not quite there. Rise's touch has to avoid Seiko, and in the end, GENG clear.
Monkey Moon trying to dribble that around Nolly, but Nolly able to tip it up. Seiko, airborne, flip, reset. Gets it by Chronic. Now Jack trying to work with Nolly. GENG just cannot hold on to this ball. Team BDS keep prying it away from him. Now here's a double from Seiko. That one just off target.
The absolute key here is Nolly's demos. They're the only thing that are buying GENG any time and space. I would say that apparently Jack and Chronic, you can go for them yourselves as well. Don't just leave it to Nolly, because every time he gets a player from Team BDS off the pitch, they're through. They look comfortable, they can get some attacking themselves.
Oh,
Not
that was
enough,
just gonna
though.
go in!
Just a counter!
And speaking of Nolly's demos, how about a shot all the way from his own corner, just immediately boost right towards the ball. Monkey Moon trailing back. That was a perfect shot. Bar down and in.
It's an annoying one to concede for Team BDS, but not the end of the world. They're still the much better team, I would say, at this current juncture, but that can change so fast, especially when GENG are starting to build up their momentum. Seiko wants to steal it away from him. Apparently Jack, though, takes the ball off his heels. Rise, did he get this boost that he wanted? No, he didn't, but he's still on 0. This could be another chance for GENG to double up their lead. A little bit boost starvation towards Team BDS. Do manage to scamper back into position, and the flip step from Rise almost seals the job. Team Moon's heading back. It seems that we're starting to see some GENG pressure now, James.
GENG showing some new life after that solo play from Nolly. See if they can hang on to some of this possession and maybe work some of the infield passing plays. Right now, we have not seen a lot of it lead to success for GENG. There's a nice 50, but you can see Monkey Moon staying on the ball, going for a touch. And again, even with low boost, clearing that downfield. Excellent effort from Monkey Moon, might lead to a goal, but Chronic controls that nicely up his back wall.
As Nolly to his left as well. Opts to go into the right side, just to waste some time, to clear some space for his teammates. Apparently Jack doesn't get the boost that he was after, but does get a great angle on the ball. GENG just happy to let Team BDS have the ball occasionally, but that's a poor pass from Chronic, it has to be said. Rise, what can you do with it? He tries to tee up Seiko, and apparently Jack gets in there in the nick of time. Little wave dash gets Chronic going. A couple of slightly awkward touches in the defense from Chronic, I'd say, has been my biggest critique towards GENG as a whole.
Not as polished as we've seen him in the past, but there's a fake. But still, Jack couldn't get the shot on it. Nolly taking the corner boost. GENG now back on the attack. And that's not the best touch from Seiko, but it's bailed out from Rise.
Yeah, Team BDS just need to keep their patience at the moment, because GENG are putting the ball into awkward positions. They're putting it out wide. There was nothing patient there. It's 2-0 GENG.
And I mean, Monkey Moon, his face is just showing the emotions that he's feeling right now. That one, a frustrating goal to give up, trying to clear it across to the corner. It bounces down, and apparently Jack's just there.
That's what GENG have done time and time again, though. Just been there. Always find themselves, as if by magic, in the perfect position. BDS, do they get one back straight away? Rise, he was too close to the ball. Thankfully for him, Monkey Moon was there. One goal the difference.
And Nolly trying to work his way around Seiko. Seiko even bumping Nolly off the ball. But Seiko, he is so good at that, coming in, and even if he doesn't get the best 50, he always messes up the other team's game plan.
Yeah, Seiko's been a little bit quiet this series, not done too much mechanically, but if he could be getting these bumps and demos just to affect GENG, then it'll work just as well. BDS have done well.
And it just took a few seconds, and BDS tied things up, and look at the play from Monkey Moon. The misdirection.
Absolute stunner of a fake. We had a good one from apparently Jack earlier. I think that one was even better. Didn't read that at all. Nobody did. But Team BDS showed that their comms were well and truly alive. Apparently Jack, though, puts it into the corner. Suddenly GENG have lost their lead. Nolly has a pass up right if he wants it, takes it, but it's saved by Seiko.
Under a minute left to play. GENG, they've got to win this game if they want to force Game 5. Otherwise, they will have a long lower bracket journey ahead of them. Team BDS stepping foot on land once more, hoping to have a nice one. And there's another goal. Monkey Moon, where was the defense?
I'm not sure. I mean, maybe it was a poor touch from Chronic to the center. Maybe they just weren't on the same line. Either way, as a team, huge error. Freebie for Team BDS, and they can almost taste survival in this upper bracket to go up against Rule 1.
We'll see what GENG has in the tank. Seiko down. It's not the best clear, but that pinch sends it far back. Rise, he's being a nuisance on that back line. Monkey Moon back down to the ground, leaves it for Seiko. Seiko, the delayed shot. Now in a dribble, Nolly up to Jack. Nolly, will he look for the demos? Does try to bump Monkey Moon, but Monkey Moon dodges it.
Who do GENG turn to now? Time is ticking away so fast. They need themselves a goal. Nolly, he just shoves it forward. Apparently Jack's arriving. Seiko with the good save. Now Monkey Moon out right to the left. The time is disappearing. Chronic does keep it up.
Chronic sees Jack over on the sidewall. Back to the middle, Nolly has to go. Out of boost, Nolly will do a light touch to Jack. Monkey Moon of his own backboard. Jack boosted up, but doesn't get there in time. Team BDS back on land, claim their first victory.
I mean, it was at times a nervous performance, but they got over the finish line. They did what had to be done, and they have a springboard now, James. Something to work from, something to build upon. This is the team that has the team dynamics. Look, the embraces, the hugs. They worked so incredibly hard for that one, and they got their rewards in the end.
Oh, they certainly have, and I really think that this season has kind of been encapsulated in that series for Team BDS. A really rough start, but that hard work, determination, and just slogging through those goals, making things happen, and also Rise being that player in Game 2 who helped bring Team BDS alive with that demo to open up the chance for Seiko. Team BDS, they're back, and they've got a massive win under their belt.
Yeah, you love to see the reaction as well, the fist pump, the belief suddenly coursing through Monkey Moon's veins. And he individually had a great series as well. Some of the shots, that fake in the final game, when you're going for an equalizer, massive.
And then also hitting that open net at the end as well. Just sinking the shot that put Team BDS ahead. This was a fantastic performance all around from Monkey Moon.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful stuff. I'm happy for Team BDS. I've always wanted them to come back to being this petrifying team that we had all the way back in the RLCS X days. Finally, it's beginning to happen. GENG started well, but they couldn't complete the job, James.
They couldn't, but it has been a treat getting to see Team BDS and also Rise 3 straight majors on 3 different teams. The first one to do that in one season. It has been wild. So to talk about the wild ride, we've got Subi down on the main stage with Rise.
The defending world champs are back. They are officially here in Boston, officially get their first dub. And Rise, you've done this season with 3 different teams. What is the secret to your success as an individual?
Just trusting in my teammates, you know. I know they're going to be good. Every team I've been on, I know my teammates are going to be good. So it's just about trusting them, playing my game, and yeah, it's worked out well.
You know, and this one just came to me. I've noticed that when you guys are sitting there, you're sitting in the middle. And there's always been talk of like, okay, what goes into the player that sits in between both? Why are you sitting in the middle between 2 great players that you have?
It's just seats, bro. It's just seats.
Nothing goes behind it. I like that. Okay, I thought there was much deeper than that, but it's just simple. Okay, good enough. So moving forward, we know how successful this team can be on LAN. We know that this team did miss winter. They missed fall. You were there, but as a team, what did it mean to these guys to finally be back in a live environment?
I mean, it means a lot to all of us, of course. Making every LAN is like a big thing. As a competitor, you want to be here, you want to be competing. So yeah, it's great. We're back.
Now, you guys obviously made a huge roster move. I mean, it's totally unexpected, I think, for a lot of us, where you replaced Extra. What went into that for both sides of the team? Like, you individually, Team BDS, what were the talks like?
Well, I mean, I don't really know what happened on their end. Honestly, shout out to Extra, because I don't think he was the only problem. I think it was just a team. They just needed a change. But yeah, I think a change was needed, and you can still see the level these boys are at. They're great players, so yeah.
Always love getting to chat up here with you. You always have some great insight to what takes a winning team to the next step. And I look forward to the next step for you guys. I'm going to let you guys continue practicing, get going. Thank you for the time. I appreciate it. Best of luck moving forward.